so today I thought I'd show you my everyday makeup routine. It's pretty simple and basic and neutral. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So if you'd like to see that, just keep watching. So I'm just starting out with a bare face. I've gone ahead and washed it and moisturized. So the next step I normally do is go in with my primer. This is a mattifying or Stay Matte primer. So I'm going to put this in my oily areas. So I normally get oily like around my eyes, right here in the middle of my forehead, my eyebrows, my nose, and like cheek area right here. Oh, and a little bit right there. Alright, so I've rubbed that in, and I then go in with my other primer, which is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer, and put this in like the areas where the pores need a little help or concealing. So that's right here on the sides of my nose, and I guess my top lip. In a U shape. This is where I need it. So I've read that you're supposed to pat it, so I like to rub it and pat it. Make sure I cover all bases. Get it in those pores. A lot of times my lip area can look a little porous, whatever you want to call it. So I like to put some there. Alright, that's good. Next, I go in with my foundation. Where's my brush? Oh. Go on with my foundation, and the one I'm going to use, who's that? No. The one I'm going to use today is my Maybelline Fit Me, and this is the Dewy Smooth in Mocha, 360 Mocha. So I'm gonna shake that up. Excuse my clumsiness. I'm gonna shake that up and put a little bit on the back of my hand, so just have something to dab into. Alright, and I'm just taking a stippling brush, my e.l.f. small stippling brush, and just dab that on. I like to put on as least amount as possible. I try not to go too close to my hairline just to avoid the harsh line or trying to blend it into my hairline, so I just try to avoid that area altogether and just kind of keep it in the center of my face. And like I said, I just like to put on like a very small amount. So I like to avoid this area as much as possible. And then if it gets down there, I just like blend it. Because I don't want it to look like I have on a mask. And I don't want it transferring onto my clothes, my headphones, things like that. So typically what I do is I'll go in with the baby wipe and just wipe this area right along here. Wipe it off. If it gets down there, like I did today, and then just blend where I left off, like the line where I wiped it. So that's done. Next I'll go in with my eyebrows. And I'm just going to speed through this because I'm going to do a separate video on that. So like I said, I like to avoid the perimeter of my face. So yeah. And the eyebrow stuff I'm using is my Tarte Amazonian Clay Brown Mousse in medium brown, and I'm using the brush that came with it. So I'm just going to brush them and go ahead and fill them in. So we can go ahead and speed this up. Alright, so next I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow. And for everyday purposes, I just use one. And it is the MAC Brown Script. It's a matte shade. And I put a tad bit like on my lid area. Just a tad bit. And then I go back in with more in like my crease area. And I just dig it in there. So it's kind of winged out what I'm doing here, but I kind of just dig it because the brush is so big and I don't really have that much space in my eye area. It's kind of winging out and going everywhere, but I make sure I just dig it into the crease, sweep it around to the front. And that's pretty much it for that. Next, I am going to go ahead and powder my face. Where's my powder? I'm gonna go ahead and powder my face, and I'm using the e.l.f. High Definition powder, the loose powder. And the brush I'm using, oh Lord, I don't see a name. So I think this is the e.l.f. This is e.l.f., but I think it's the Flawless face brush, all over face brush, something like that. I don't know. But I just dab a little bit. Make sure I go over my eyebrows, since like I said, they get oily. My little eye crease gets oily too, so I make sure I get it in there really good over my eyelids. And this is basically just to set everything. Alright, so that's it for that. That's it for that. Put that up. Put that up. That brush up. Okay. Eyeliner is next, and sometimes I do a winged liner, or most days I do a winged liner and wear it like that. But today I'm just going to put on some eyeliner on my top and bottom lashes, like in my waterline. Please excuse how I'm looking right now with my eyes rolling, but this is how I do it. And with this method, it gets on the top and bottom, like it transfers. So I just put it on like that. And I try not to poke myself in the eye, obviously. But when it comes to me, that normally happens. And that's it for that. For eyeliner. Yep, and next, if I see anything that needs to be touched up around my eyes, I'll go ahead and do that with the little stippling brush that I use to blend in my concealer. Okay, that's done. Next is mascara, and I really like this one. It's the Benefit Their Real Mascara, and I just have like the little travel size, which looks like this, but this works really good, so I use that. I just put a little bit on. Mascara is really tricky, so be careful. And if you mess up, just go in and clean it up. Oh Lord. Okay, so I got a little bit right there, so hopefully that blends out. And then I just accent my mole. And that is pretty much it, aside from chapstick, which I don't have right next to me. I go ahead and set my face. Sometimes I put on blush, which I don't really feel like doing today, so sometimes I put on blush, but today I'm not. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray my face, and I'm using the Wet n Wild setting spray, the Photo Focus all day wear. And let that set.